Hello, welcome back. Teh Tarik Hour. As always, it's the two of us. You know who we are. Names there. As always, if you enjoy what we do, please share, like, subscribe, comment. Our last two videos, yay! Some good performance there. Some great discussions as well. People talking about the things happening in GISB and whatnot. And we always appreciate the comments and the discussion being had. As long as it's a good discussion. Don't start attacking people like that. And if you want to reach out to us and talk to us, share your ideas or anything, tehtarikhour@gmail.com is where you can reach out to us.
Yep.
Today's topic is a good topic, actually, once in a while. It's something that I did not expect to happen so soon, but it did happen. It's that our currency.
You can see our topic actually. Where what this is make on the whole Malaysia people who are, I don't know, I'm gonna say whole Malaysian. Some of the people get benefit and some.
But wait, before we keep going, remember when you're talking close to your mic,
Okay.
later you kena again by the
Okay,
community. Wait, I try to adjust a bit. Okay.
Okay.
So when you talk to an angle, careful. Talk to angle. Make sure you're still talking, so
Okay.
that people can still hear us and you don't hit us with the audio stuff again. But
No.
back, you were saying today's topic, currency is doing better. What? Always like that one, right? Lost the train of thought already.
Okay. I think on the whole entire Malaysians Malaysia people who are happy because our currency is higher against to the dollar. Then maybe we can go for overseas and then buy cheaper Spotify and Amazon shopping, the cheaper thing.
You got feel things getting cheaper, man?
Maybe you buy iPhone or something is cheaper. The currency
Actually,
cheaper.
yes, sir. I realized that the price of the iPhone is cheaper this year compared to previous year, right? If I'm not mistaken, we will show the iPhone 16 and then iPhone 15 pricing last year.
Anyway, Apple didn't pay us the
Okay.
advertisement fees.
Then no need show lah. No need show also. But this year, I remember seeing the announcement and they said the pricing is cheaper lah.
Yeah, cheaper.
Because as you mentioned, our currency better. That means us importing the things is cheaper to pay for lah, right?
Yep.
So based on that, as you say, Malaysia is happy lah. Currency is doing better, right?
Yes.
But this is the question I don't know lah. Maybe for you and for our listeners here, do you immediately feel when the currency gets better, like the effects of better currency? Like for me lah, personally, I haven't really felt the difference because I have not spent things that is outside of
Outside of Malaysia
outside of Malaysia or outside the norm that I used to. If I go grocery shopping, is the pricing still the same
But
one? Ma?
when because I'm working in my industries, I feel the burden is not the disadvantage for me because we are import things to come to Malaysia for trading.
So you buy things outside of Malaysia to bring in.
So it's a different lah. It's a difficulties for us lah. But for local Malaysians, you actually not feel any benefits now. The currency is higher. I don't feel any benefit yet lah.
That means you will get it someday.
Maybe I go Singapore and do a shopping or do go Singapore travel, then I can feel the pain. I can feel the benefit. Can feel the benefit because the 3.3 ma.
Yes, so I mean in terms of number wise, right? When we talk about this topic last year, which is one of our earlier videos that we
show the
we
video.
will show the video. That one we can promote. But previously when we talk about the currency, it was doing quite badly.
3.5 that time.
Singapore dollar to Malaysia is 3.5, and then to the US currency is like 4.6 or 4.7, something like that. And we were on the negative outlook, thinking that it might reach 5 for, and then for the Sing dollar maybe a 4, right? But as it turns out, after a year of the Madani, things change. Oh, wow! Who knew?
But do you think can the Malaysia can sustain the momentums for the currency? Maybe we go up further. Foresee the ringgit lah is strong or.
But the thing is, right? Is it because the ringgit is getting stronger, or is it because the US dollar is getting weaker? I think right now there's a lot of things going on for like the US.
I think it's a lot of factors lah. Also because of US, they are going for election.
That's why lah. There's election,
and Chinese yuan also is going weak for the number of this years. No, not few years, a few months lah.
But
Because we are changing the yuan also, 1 ringgit 70 cents.
oh, is it?
Oh.
In that sense that we are improving our currency against the Chinese yuan also, is it?
Yes, because Chinese yuan also getting weak, and then because getting weak because China a lot things to export to Malaysia. He is the one who are the biggest trading partner Malaysia's ma. So this is the advantage. Maybe China they're trying to low down their currencies
so that we
they
encourage
can do
more
the,
export
export
import
more export China product come to Malaysia. This is one of the I think it's the trading trick.
But then for China, I think that's something that they can absorb that kind of pay, because it's China ma. They do all this mass production, for them is nothing one.
Yeah, I think it's because the difficulty is the rakyat ma. It's not the governments. The government try to low down the currency. Actually, is good for their doing the exporting ma.
But you see the rakyat if China is unhappy meh? You don't say social lah, but in terms of like wealth and wealth generation and then social benefits, you think China people not happy meh?
Don't know.
I see. You always see so many China tourists. You don't think that's a good indication of their economic well-being?
Yeah, recently some of the Chinese maybe they stopped their step to come to Malaysia because our Malaysia currency is high. Yeah.
But isn't it like previously that they stopped coming to the government discouraged Chinese people to go out so much because they're spending too much money outside of China. But I don't know, maybe because of this there's less Chinese tourists, but I doubt it lah. It seems like China, at least from my perspective, they're still very big on spending and buying up all this stuff and having fun going to be a tourist to all over the world lah. But in terms of Malaysia itself, like our currency has been improving and it's getting stronger, and that will have positive impacts lah for a lot of people, because like I see nowadays more people traveling already.
Yeah,
I see my friends
go
like
Thailand,
go Thailand, go. I mean
Bali.
the recently the Malaysia Day long holiday, right? How many people go overseas to travel? So many one, until like the Thailand also the border
Ringgit gets stronger. I think it's the Asia Pacific. I mean Asia lah. I mean our country lah. The stronger currency. I think it's a Ringgit. I will do very well for Ringgit currency.
Really? I mean,
for other country like Singapore also not so well. And then
you mean their performance is not so good compared to Malaysia
currency,
recently, is it?
But and because our Madini government.
You still cannot compare, because Singapore Sing dollar is still stronger in that sense. What?
Yes,
Yeah, they still their value is much more than that lah. But I do see that now due to the strong
But
currency.
do you happy or not our currency higher?
I mean, you should be happy, right? Because
But
you wouldn't want your currency to go
4.2 now today is 4.2 or something lah.
for the
For our
US dollar, right?
US dollar. But back to 1997,
2 point something, right?
2 point something, right?
Yes, I hear this all the time. I was talking to this the other day in my office. The currency strong performing. And then someone said, well, back in the day, 97, we were 2 point something to the dollar. I'm like, will we ever reach that again, man? Impossible lah at this point.
Maybe one day we maybe
Can, if the US dollar value depreciates more rather than us increasing our value. Lor. Like if our ringgit to go strong to that point, right? We need to be performing at a level like Japan level, like that one.
Japan yen also increase, bro. The currency.
True also lah.
I don't know. Okay. Last time I back to 2000s. I went to Singapore work. The currencies, the Australia dollars and the Sing dollars and the Brunei dollars, they can join together. It's the same currencies. They can using the same note in Singapore. And I believe Brunei ringgit or dollar, I'm not sure. Brunei dollars and Sing dollars, they are the same currencies. I don't know whether one day Malaysia can join Singapore and Brunei. The currency is same, so that will be equal. These 2-3 places.
But that's the thing. That's just like the EU dollar lah, like the
Yeah.
European dollar. But that requires people to really hapchok and be
Yeah, really
cooperate with each other lah. And we all know how intense our rivalry is with Singapore and Brunei.
I don't
all
think
this.
Singapore will join lah. Because no more Malaysians that go Singapore and work.
Really, man? I think still a lot of Malaysians go there to work. What?
Because of the dollar issues only ma. If let's say the Sing dollar, 1 ringgit is equal to 1 Sing dollar, who go to Singapore for?
True also lah. I think if that case, a lot of Singaporeans come to Malaysia at that point already, ma. Not me?
Yeah, lor.
Because it's our, don't know, maybe our opportunities more better because bigger place, bigger land.
Maybe this is in future.
But that is a hypothetical like. You really think Malaysia will be able to reach that level of like parity to other neighboring countries? Like I doubt we will ever get like 1 Sing dollar to 1 Malaysia dollar ringgit lah. That requires a huge change.
1.5 I'm also very happy already.
0.5
1.5.
I think if we reach 2 also, I already shocked already, man. The most highest I think we will get is like 3 or like 2.8 or 2.9 like
1.9 is the time in the 1997. The time
1997.
1.9 or
Gila,
1.89 something.
But I don't think a lot of people can imagine that nowadays, like that our ringgit was that strong back then. I wonder what happened now.
If let's say ringgit is so strong, a lot of things is very cheap, I may not say a lot of things is very cheap.
A lot of things much more affordable.
Affordables because phone like iPhone examples I give examples because of iPhone things or everyone also using not everyone's iPhone is because the cost is so expensive is compared with the other phone, right? So with less people to using it. So if let's say it's some kind of like US dollar increase, ringgit value increase, then there's a lot of things we can more choices I can say.
Yeah, but that also I think something that's quite discouraged from our local government because I remember back then also remember the inflation thing because of we buying too much imported stuff that in order to strengthen our economy we needed to push for local products, right? That when you have like your currency is strong, right, you're more likely to buy imported things. Like you rather buy a Mercedes than a Proton. This kind of thing, right?
Okay, this thing will be okay. Something is like you buying Proton. If let's say Proton the quality is equal
then
with the
you
Mercedes,
you will push your logical thinking is that Mercedes same level, same price as Proton. That means Proton needs to improve its quality, right?
Yeah.
But what did we do instead? We put AP, we put high tariffs to imported cars, and then that would encourage people to buy Proton instead because the price is cheaper.
Yeah, now they are doing is this way lah. But if let's say for why we not the Proton increase the values, the car values, and then the brand values. The people who are really I'm as a Malaysians, I buy Proton. I'm proud I buy with Proton. I'm not say the price is cheaper. I buy Proton. This kind of mentalities, man. Like Japanese one. I am Japanese. I buy the Honda,
right?
Honda or whatever brands lah. I buy a Japanese car. I wouldn't buy a Mercedes one because they say the Honda actually is more cheaper. Well, not say more cheaper lah. The value of the money lah. Or I'm the Japanese. I support my country.
But I think I don't know. Maybe my perspective is that from a lot of Malaysian, the idea is that import things is much more quality compared to local things. That's the general perception. Like you would buy a imported clothing rather than a local brand for the branding, the value, and all that. And when your currency improve and you have the power to purchase those kind of things, wouldn't people more likely to buy those kind of things compared to like, I don't know, some local brand or something like that?
But I believe nowadays, Malaysian brands, their designs, I can see like our Malaysian, even the fashions thing like the pate corak, they're doing quite well also, the design. Now Malaysians the standards are not like old days, I believe lah.
Yes.
You can see a Proton nowadays the Proton also not bad what. You can see the fantastic the car and compared with 20 years you see the Proton different one.
Yeah, but the value proposition is still lower compared to like an imported car, lor.
But
The perspective.
You compare with Mercedes and what we call it, the BMWs. This is a luxury cars, ma. If let's say your Proton, maybe you compare with Geely China car, or maybe you compare with a Korean car, then maybe we still can chase for the standard. But if let's say you compete with German car, Continental car, okay lah. It's so far away. I still got the milestone to go lah.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Because it's expensive because of its imported status, right? And its luxurious branding there.
Because the German Continental car or the whole world, yeah, already know this brand of the German car is the good standard of car. But if let's say for we compete with Asian,
but my V also is good.
my V actually quite good. You compare with you can compare with Korean's car, Korea, and then Japanese. But Japanese, Korea, and of course the Japanese car is still in the number ones in Malaysia lah.
Yeah, I mean, if given the choice between a Japanese car or a local car, for better branding,
performance,
value,
the machine, the
status also lah. Show off a bit. Yeah, a Japanese car still better than local car lah, I would say. But when we go back to currency and then the fact that our currency is improving, right? Would this encourage people to spend more, right? On imported things, and to go out and to travel a lot more, lah. Would that bring back to our economy though? Because like there's the double edge there. We can go out and enjoy, but people don't want to come to our country because our currency is too high already, right? Not man, got this.
Yeah. It's some kind of
I think last time
just now I mentioned that the China is
that's what I say. Because I think last year when we said this, right, our currency going down, one of the positive we would say is that tourism, lor, because people will see our country very affordable, they will come more, lah. You think this will have an impact, if our currency becomes stronger, that tourism would less and less become a
okay, you go in US and maybe you go Australia. You still spend in Australia what? You still go Australia because the currency is still higher. So.
I mean, for us, that's for us.
But
to spend
if let's say
there,
today our currency is higher, we have to do some things as a higher currency country like Australia. What Australia doing? We try to protect our people, ma. You see some things that how come their country become higher currencies? Australia and then the US state. Still a lot of people go for
but
travel.
That's an infrastructure thing, bro. Like for US, it's their military industrial complex that supports their economy there, and they are a hegemonic power, and they export on a lot of things like culture, branding like iPhone and all this, Nike. There's a lot of factors for a superpower country like America. Now, if we look something like Australia or something, there are other factors as well that they have done to improve their society, like education, social welfare, that encourage them to not just rely on tourism. There's more to it than that, lor.
Yeah, so if let's say Malaysia we become a high currency country, like we are equivalents with the Australia, this kind of standard of country lah, I can say. This kind of level of country. Then we can promote our multiracials, our what you call that, our cultures.
Our Uncle Rogers.
Uncle Rogers.
Our Uncle Rogers of the world. But that requires a systematic change of our infrastructure, one. Because then we will need to look at ourselves as not as just a country that's for tourists to go have fun as a cheap destination. It needs to be more than that. We need to improve the skills of our people. Lor. We need to be able to diversify beyond just cuti Malaysia. Lor. The thing is, do you think Malaysia is on that path? That's the thing. Are we on the path towards this high currency infrastructure?
Far away.
Still I remember back in the days, like we were trying to say the Vision 2020, and we have 2020 infrastructure, but 1920 mentality.
2020, yeah, wawasan 20. I don't know whether you still remember wawasan 20.
Your Mahathir lah is visionary thing. Push back until what?
Our primary school, we draw the car can fly. And then a lot of these very fancy ideas.
It's,
Very fancy idea.
it's yeah lah, all these dreams that we think we can become as a developed country, right? But end up become we got all these cases like JSB and past becoming more conservative, wanting to ban gambling and all this. Not we're trying to attack Muslim or anything like that. Okay, we just make it clear, but the idea is that for us to become a high currency country, I think we're still far away from that lah. Which is why this small bump, right? I don't know how long it can last, man. Like maybe by the
We're a
next.
short momentum, I can say.
You think this is just a short burst before we fall down again? Is it?
Fall down? Maybe we can. I don't know whether can maintain or not lah. But I saw from some other medias lah. They are saying this end of the year since can be maintained to 4 ringgit 28 cents. 4 ringgit 4.28 from dollar against to ringgit lah.
But
2025 is more positive. It's some kind of like a 4 ringgit 12 cents.
Really? Yeah.
They say like the forecast.
That's so optimistic one. What if suddenly got World War and then we all kena. You know, Israel and Lebanon now trying to and Iran war already.
Yeah.
Mana tahu after that become more worse our currency.
But our governments, our Agong, our king is so confident. It just reason I think it's last month. Last month they went to the China's.
Visit our supreme leader Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping. And then Xi Jinping gave a very welcome to our Agong. You know.
I mean, what they want to strengthen their relationship with Malaysia in the fact that we want to be part of BRICS, right? The Brazil, Russia, India, China, and then S is forgot what. But BRICS this main countries, main superpowers that want to separate ourselves from the US dollar lah. Now, as a firm supporter of the CCP, as a firm supporter of CCP, China all the way. This is an inevitable collaboration that's going to happen anyway lah. To me and Agong going there further solidifies our determination to really improve ties with China lah. Despite how many people used to say in Malaysia, oh China all bad, all this, they are a key strategic partner in our Asian continent lah. So for us to not deal with them is stupid lah, I think. But I understand some people's hesitancy because of China's social approach towards things like censorship and all this. I think we should look at China in the economic sense, what they can do in terms of economic sense to improve Malaysia. But I don't know for you lah. Maybe your opinion is different because you have some experience there, living in China and working in China. Don't know, you see this and you think like, oh, we become a slave to China or something like that, is it?
Not say slave lah. It's like maybe Malaysia is like last time it's a Commonwealth country. And it's a China style of the Commonwealth country.
But is that a good thing or a bad thing for you? Like, what's your opinion towards Malaysia's, improving ties with China?
But no matter how long, you see the wars, got the only nowadays maybe it's the bigger players like US, China, Russia. These few big players. It's a very small country like Malaysia. Not many population is I think
we need strategic partnership lah.
Yes, a partnership. We only side in US or maybe China. We only the kaki,
small part only lah.
Small part only. We cannot do anything.
So that's the thing. Like for you, do you think this is a good move for Malaysia to further?
But I rarely move to the US side. Not the China side.
You prefer us aligning with the US
Yes. If let's say for me this is my.
But you say that in terms of what, economic sense or social sense or.
If let's say for economic sense for education wise, you see the world top education is like in US or in the Western world.
Really?
I
I don't think that's the case anymore. What? Like, do you feel like only the Western world has provided the most
top
uh,
educations?
uh,
You see in US, not just US like in Australia's, but in China you see only China is a Chinese educations ma. Where places is got a Chinese educations.
mm, I don't understand what you mean by Chinese education. As in, like,
Okay, like you see a US or British, they have a commons education system. We call it the commons education systems, like US, UK, and the Western side lah. But in China, they have their own Chinese education system.
and but
They're separate. They're independent. In not a part of the world. If let's say, okay, we come to talk
but
about.
you mean when you say not part of the world, does it mean like they don't teach you about the world, meh? Or something like that?
No, it's something is like they are more like they are do a independence. Even the internet things they are not calling internet. Even not sharing the internet because the Google everyone is even in US, even in India's wherever country we are using Google. But in China, I cannot use Google. They are like, oh, I'm using Baidu, I'm using other search engines. I special ones.
So I think based on what you're saying is their approach towards information is very close.
Yes, close.
Very what
Okay, we come back to the using Android and Apple. Apple actually is a closing source. Android is open source. So I'm talking the Western world is open source. So open source, which means get the more room to improve. This is what I my means.
And you feel like China's very close.
It's like Apple
control
control the informations and control the informatics to come to their country, and then they are at the limited way to do this.
I think that's the difference between you and me in terms of this kind of approach, like education lah. Because you would say, oh, China is very controlling of their education. But they at least allow everyone to have that same information. Whereas in the Western world, yes, you have open source, everyone can choose to get the information. But how many can afford that information? Now, if you look at the, in terms of like, the people who studied lah, China's graduation or people who are educated there, there's more people who graduated and educated in China compared to the US. Because US people, not everyone can afford to go to school. Whereas in China, you have the government telling you you can go to school no matter what.
Not really. Because the government's like, okay, I think it's maybe more deep for it. If let's say some religions in China, I say it's quite sensitive issues. I say, I don't know whether we get the bans on this YouTube or not.
Maybe, who knows? We'll see.
Okay, because some of the Bibles, right? They are Chinese, they have got their own version of Bible. But the Bible, no one can modify or change the Bible. The Bible actually is the origins Bibles. But how come the China can do their own way to change the Bible and say, oh, I want to do this way, and then they're in more
they can change the story there
change the story
to fit what China wants to tell you in terms of like history and all this. There is a concern in terms of like the social aspect lah. But if we look at basic education, like something like maths, you cannot change math one ma. So if I were to compare lah, like China, at least every Chinese student must learn math, or every Chinese student must learn the Chinese language, okay? Whereas in the US, not every American might learn math because they might not be able to afford to. But they might be able to learn religion more freely. But is that much more conducive to your to improving your country compared to learning math or learning science? To me, it's like when it comes to education, the basic fundamentals like science, math, and all this are much more imperative compared to like religious studies lah.
Mm-mm.
Some people might not agree with that and think religion is more important than education like science and all this. That's a personal opinion, but for me, I think when it comes to education, those things like science, mathematics, languages, and all this are much more important. So for me, when it comes to China, they at least ensure that every Chinese know these fundamentals, know these basics. Whereas in the US or Western majority of Western world, that is more private than not socialized in terms of their education, will not give you all that. Like they might not teach you the basics you need, like math, like science, because you can see some of the stupid things that people say in the US, like some basic things that people don't understand how mirror work. You never see this in trend, like some people say, oh, the mirror has a mirror world, because if you put a paper right and you put the egg behind the paper, the egg still show up in the other side of the mirror. How can that be? And they don't understand that it's just called your eyes, It's the lighting reflection from your eyes. They thought, oh, there's a world behind the mirror. That's why the egg can be reflected like that. These are basic facts, but a lot of Americans don't know this. Because the education system is not like, they don't emphasize on giving accessibility. So for me, China, at least in terms of education or social aspect, at least they ensure that every one of their people is studied. They go to school compared to the Western world. But that's just one part, and we're just talking the social aspect. I think when we talk about China and Malaysia hapchok together doing a partnership, it will always be on the sense of economic factor.
Yep.
Because we're let's be real, we're not going to adopt China punya mentality or China punya way of controlling information and all that. Because we also do that also, what? Remember? We last time, your Mahathir also does like the information ISA, right? Information Security Act. We also do this kind of like controlling information, what? Not me? So who are we to criticize China in their ways of controlling information when we also do it ourselves? Last time you say bad things about the government, suddenly police come to your place, right? Or cyber trooper come to your place and all that.
No, it's different. Last time, now we call it is an internet war, but in China.
But you remember recently we wanted to include the DNS limit blocker, the our MSC or something like that. They wanted to control how our DNS is accessing information. We are doing that already, and that was before our stronger ties with China. So is Malaysia that different from China in terms of that social aspect? The only thing that we're lacking is economic power. If we're going to do all this, why not we also get the economic power boost from China also? What? Well, I'm really trying to push you towards China mentality already. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
We're already doing all this so high thing. Why not at least we hapchok with China? At least we get some economic boost there. Mana tahu we can get free healthcare and free education as well.
China we got free education and free, what you call that?
At
free
least
medical.
heavily subsidized lah.
But because even US also don't have free education and free medicals.
Of course, US don't have they want you to pay for everything.
Only a Europeans country.
But
it started
the pricing you see the pricing there like China punya healthcare, the pricing is much more subsidized compared to the US
But China's medical fees is more expensive than Malaysia. Actually, Malaysia the medicals
actually ours is really good
are really good compared to China's.
But we can be better
We are better than US. US, I know some of them.
I think though you want to compare to US is not really a winning case. If we compare to something like, I don't know, like Switzerland or all these countries that or the UK at the very least, at least they have national healthcare like that. That is the kind of thing we need to move towards But again, we're not looking at this. For me I'm not looking at our partnership with China as a social collaboration. It's more like an economic collaboration You don't think that's a good thing, man? For us to collaborate with China in terms of economic sense?
I don't know whether it's good or bad. Actually we not side to China's or US, or we are just a partnership or business partner. We call it a business partner. Whoever's bring any benefit to Malaysians, even US or China, we can see them in between. Why we want to side one side, right? I think is a smart and wise a businessman. You should see the benefit. We are trying, because I know some the Chinese, they want to do the export. They cannot directly to export to the US lah and the Western. They come to Malaysia first and do the make in Malaysia and then do the export to the US country. You know that, right?
So that means we are like acting like a agent lah. We are agent there.
Agents, a transporter lah. We are as a transporter in the middleman.
I mean, that's one way to look at our role in
the
joining with China lah. Yeah. But I do think we will do more than that, because like I'm sure at some point China is going to start investing in Malaysia in terms of like infrastructure as well. Because that's the whole point. They want to put their influence in a lot of countries, and that is a concern as well, and we need to be able to manage it as much as we can lah. But to me, in terms of economic sense, China is a superpower, and they're willing to invest in Malaysia. Just take the money lah. It's better than going to IMF or the World Bank for money, what?
Our king also support you go China, what? You see our king?
If king says so, then I agree with you.
Yeah, king also going to China. The first travel is to China after the he as a king lah.
So after this, we won't go hear the people say go back China anymore. Balik Tongsan. No more. Cannot say, right, because King already approved of China punya hapjok. So if anyone
old-minded,
if anyone say this thing, I think the police need to capture them already, right? So don't talk shit of China already, you know.
You know, really got this place called Tongsan, you know.
Go
Really Tongsan.
You got go before, is it?
No.
So go balik lah.
No, Tongsan actually is a south north part of China.
But why Tongsan? So
it's
specific.
The place name lah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But why Tongsan? So specific the name, the place one.
I don't know. Because a lot of the Tongsan.
Maybe got some connection. A lot of Chinese Malaysian original from there, is it? Or
no, not really. I know the Bruce Lee or one of the movie. The name is called Tongsan also.
You know from that.
Bruce Lee.
How can you get your education from movies one? It should be from school one. Yeah, that's what's the education.
The education is from the movie and then come to the reality.
Should be you learn from the school one. But we don't know yet how this relationship will benefit us in the future. Yep. For now, I think it's very superficial. Most likely it's just like, we will improve slightly.
But anyway, we can enjoy the free visa entry to China.
China can free visa.
Someone our currency is stronger, 1.7. Yeah, we can go shopping in China, especially those places. You can buy a gadget or something. Right?
Then I can buy on Shopee or no Alibaba straight or Temu straight. Is it?
Can also lah. If let's say you want to buy for Shopee. But you can go there for travel and the
more better, right?
Go shopping.
Maybe I should go China also. I haven't visited China before one.
You went to China before?
Never. Well, I don't remember if I been. If maybe I young that time, maybe I got stopped by lah. But
stopped by.
That was long time ago lah. Maybe now's the time since China so open to Malaysia already.
The more currency is higher, then it's worth it to go there lah. It's very worth it.
Wait, let me study Chinese first.
Buy the what you call it, the device translators, and then speak in English and then translate in Chinese.
Then use Apple translation.
The Google translation.
Okay lah, I think we will wrap it up for that. What do you guys think? Is our partnership with China is very good for the future? And what about
you
our currency?
Want to listen more of the China's the things? You sponsor Azreen and go to China and do an exploration in China.
I'll set up a crowdfund page for you all to donate me to go China.
The donations, the funds, and go China.
So but yeah, let us know what you guys think, or about the currency, whether we're on the path towards becoming better currency, or it'll go worse, or you actually
Yes.
benefited from the high currency? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, if you do enjoy what we do,
And
share,
subscribe our
like,
channel.
subscribe, comment.
We are still lacking of the subscribers.
We're
I'm begging you
improving.
guys
We're
to
improving.
subscribe our channel.
We're improving, we're improving at least. And if you want to reach out to us, tehtarihour@gmail.com. Until then, goodbye.
Thank you.